second down. Here's a run with Mack. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Watch tight end. We got 4. We got 4.
Now it's Hines. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
So we got man.
Play fake. Brissett. And he fires one that's intercepted. Duke Dawson picks it. The 20. 10. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown.
What you just saw there, first-round talent, second year, even more success. A pick 6 for a touchdown.
A great play. And it's tough for these guys, you've told me before, to adjust in the secondary as a first-year guy. So that sophomore season is big for them.
They really start to expand the playbook for them even more. Sometimes they dumb it down a little bit to make them comfortable year 1. By year 2, they should have all the new nuances, and now they've adjusted to the speed of NFL play as well.
Showed right there. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down. You know, but hold on, let me finish.
Okay,
you're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Now it's the backup, Rivers. Finds his big tight end, Mo Alley Cox. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at the 46-yard line.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
Flushed out right. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. An incomplete pass on second down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10.
45 the mic. 45 the mic. Hey, wahoo! 45 the mic. Hey, 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 hey. Check 45 the mic. Keep it skinny. 45 the mic. Get on.
Here's Rivers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This will be taken at the 10. Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield and try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get in position for at least 3 points. The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
The Bronco 1st down there, 12 yards on the play.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Love. That's complete. It's Gordon. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. Solid gain of 18 yards and a Denver 1st down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
Ready? Set 53. Here we go. Here we go.
On 1st and 10, Love. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The linebacker, Darius Leonard, applied the heat.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah,
What's going on?
It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
Back to throw. Love. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. From the gun on 3rd down. Love. And this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown Broncos. Cortland Sutton as the first half is winding down. And the Broncos push further out in front.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3 and out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Rivers incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10. Now a run back. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, Rivers. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Let's go. Let's go.
At their own 41-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 34. They'll run on 1st down. It's Lindsey trying to run inside, but nothing there. Anthony Walker, the other Colts linebacker with over 100 tackles a year ago, making the play there. Off play action. Love. He lets this one fly toward the back of the... Yeah, this is caught by Sutton. Touchdown, Broncos. Cortland Sutton. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Von Miller, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Hey, Alpha!
Rivers. Now a hit, and Rivers lost the football. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead will swell by one more. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And down to a knee. That's one way to call a play. And yet again, this run game just continues to be completely shut off.
Completely stymied. I mean, they're trying to get some consistency, trying to find places to roam. They just haven't been there throughout this game.
And a curious play call here, to say the least. Thought it might be a trick, but no, he actually goes down to a knee. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. This is fielded at the 27. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Quick update from Levi's Stadium. And that one for the 49ers, now a 2-touchdown advantage. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line.
And that's his second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Love. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Rivers incomplete on first down. Here's 2nd and 10. They go play action. Rivers. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. And since they still have 10 yards to go, they'll just say, let's roll this over to 3rd down and decline it.
Let's just be honest about it. If you can't get them off the field on 3rd and 10, then something's wrong with your defense anyway. No sense in taking that penalty.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10.
12. Mike 51.
Working out of the gun, Rivers. He's airing it out for Williams. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? How do they score here, especially a touchdown? It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their play.
And it'll be intercepted. It's T.J. Carey who picked it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
2nd and 9 now from the 21.
6 guys. Check 6 guys.
Now Rivers. That's complete to Jack Doyle, the tight end. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards the pickup there. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. On 1st and 10, Rivers. Looking for Campbell downfield. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And his guys are going to have the football back as the 3rd quarter comes to an end. Back now in Indianapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Cut.
They'll start on the ground. This is Gordon on 1st down. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
He'll rifle this one deep right. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Past the 20. And all the way home for a Bronco score. Tim Patrick, 82 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there. Often you talk about the three phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
I got you.
Staying on the ground with Mack. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Play action now. Rivers. It's complete here to T.Y. Hilton. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
At the 43-yard line.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards.
Hey, let's go. Calm the crowd. Hey, come on.
They run with Hines. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 4 yards the pickup. First down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook. Go play action. Toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Now Rivers. Into the hands of his running back, Marlon Mack. And he'll be down at the 46. So they go from 146 to the other on a pickup of 8. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. On the ground, it's Mack. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
180. That's right, baby. They don't want it. 89.
On 3rd and 1, here's Rivers. Taken in by the tight end, Doyle. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again.
1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
390. 45. Plus the right. Coming this way. Here we go.
On first down, Hines. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a first down.
Well, depending on the temperament of the head coach, He's either turning to the bench and screaming, "Where was that all game?" Or maybe just kind of keeping it to himself and saying, okay, it's something to build on, and a positive comes out of a bad game, because those are going to happen from time to time. We'll see how he gets his team ready to go in the future. But that run right there, that's what they were looking for.
So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, up a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Denver, they close out this first half at a very solid 6-2, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7. They'll try to rebound